And I would ordinarily say they suck. But they're giving a bucket ticket to the Amos fans, so...
Yeah, they don't suck.
No, they don't.
No, they
it's
do
better
not.
in the Olympics, as a matter of fact.
They would suck. That's what you say. They would suck.
Yes, they would.
That's a fair statement.
George Collins. But George says, when's this HBO special coming up?
This is not till February.
The 11th one.
Yeah, I got 20 more minutes to work on yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm up to 38 minutes.
Brain Droppings is out in paperback now. It's an enormous good seller for the New York Times. And it's already a bestseller in paperback. It's number 10. We played a, you mentioned when we were doing, we have a little bumper we made of the 7 Dirty Words thing you did.
Yeah.
What, tell me about it.
Well, that was, this is an anniversary of sorts, and I, of course, in the book, I attack anniversaries, you know, I mean, the kinds of anniversaries that the media is always telling us, you know, it's like Bambi is 50 years old, Cinderella's 58, whatever. Yeah, this is the 25th anniversary of the day they played it on the air in Long Island, and this is the 20th anniversary of the Supreme Court decision.
Well, tell me about, I don't remember the story. Tell me.
What happened, WBAI, a listener-supported station,
Sure.
no commercials, had an afternoon program called The Lunch Bucket, I believe.
Right.
And that particular day, they were talking about language, dirty language versus, you know, all the ramifications of so-called dirty language. And they even made an announcement. They made a qualifier, a disclaimer to be up front. They said, if you don't like that kind of language, don't listen to this. And they played a cut from my third album called Filthy Words. And someone, a professional moralist, actually, someone from the moral majority or medium morality or something like that, listened to it with his son in the car, complained to the FCC. One call to the FCC out of maybe, 25 million radios. Oh. And the FCC told the station they were sanctioned. The station said, no, we're not. We're going to court. And they won in the lower court. The station won. Then the FCC took them to the Supreme Court. And in 1978, the Supreme Court said these 7 words are indecent. They created a whole new category of filth simply for my convenience.
In this bit
they weren't obscene. They were indecent.
Okay. In this bit that they played.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I know this is a stupid question, but that wasn't the 7 Dirty Words bit then, because the 7 Dirty Words...
It was the follow-up. It included all of those words. It was the album after the 7 Dirty Words bit, and it was called Filthy Words. It was a follow-up. It was the sequel. And I mentioned all of them at first, and then I talked about 3 more that I was adding, and I also kind of deconstructed them a little more. So it was all within the context of everything they had explained, you know. I mean, it seemed like it should be something that should fly. Right. But it was the Nixon FCC, and it was the Nixon court. And in 1978, they said no good. So this is now 20 years since that happened. And I have a question about these words. The original ones were SPFCCMT.
Right.
So again, I say wonderful infantile way to conduct ourselves here. But one of those words, you can say pissed off. I hear it a lot on radio. I hear it on television. So that particular word, piss.
Yeah, we have people like Doris Kearns Goodman, the presidential historian.
Sure. See that?
She says it.
Okay, so that makes it fine.
Yes. My point.
But the thing is, you can say pissed off, but you really can't say pissed on. In other words, it's perfectly acceptable for one character in a sitcom to say, why are you pissed off at me? But the other guy cannot say, well, because you pissed on me.
No, you can't.
It's the same word. You change the preposition. There's the only thing you change. And yet the word now is no good.
Yeah.
And the question I have, I know that you can say pecker, because I've heard there was a Ross Perot thing you guys did, and pecker, the word pecker was in there. And I know you can say dick because you talk about Dick Morris.
Yeah.
So you can obviously say pecker, and you can say Dick Morris.
Right.
So possibly you could say Dick Morris is pecker, because that would seem like that would be acceptable.
Yes, it would.
But you can't say Dick Morris is dick, I think. Can you?
I think...
Well, I think it'd be less acceptable.
Less acceptable.
Yes.
See, there's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
I think you probably could get by with it.
Yeah, and you can prick your finger, but you can't finger your prick. This is another thing. With
You can't call yourself a prick.
No, you can't. Well, you can, but it's kind of stupid. I mean, you might be taken away to a small room.
Right.
So you can convey the word. You can convey the meaning, but you can't say the word. Effing. You know, they say effing on radio all the time. Why is that allowed? I mean, you know, doesn't that violate the spirit of this idea?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So there's no solid ground. I mean, I knew that all along. I just thought I'd be a little bothersome. May I mention something about Mike Tyson?
You may do anything you want.
Mike Tyson in 6 weeks is coming up for either reinstatement or continuing his suspension, I understand. And I wanted to point out, because I'm never here to do topical things, you know? First of all, I want to defend Mike Tyson for this ear-biting thing.
Right.
First of all, it was only really a small bite. It was a small piece of ear. It was not a huge piece of ear.
He beat him twice, though.
Okay. Well, obviously it was a good year.
Okay.
It was a very good year. Small piece.
Okay.
Secondly, the lobe is not the most important part of the ear. It's something you can spare. You know, it's not critical to you. And thirdly, not much nutrition in it at all.
No.
Mostly fiber. However, it is a very good source of manganese. I just wanted to point this out to those who are interested in nutrition. Manganese.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's a trace metal.
Oh, okay.
And it's important in your diet. Manganese. I'm sorry I started that, man.
No, it's just like,
It was radio, and you can't
like
hear
playing my Palmdale
you can't
story.
hear the people leaving. You can't hear the people leaving the radio.
George Carlin here on the Ivan Simone program. George, tomorrow we'll be over at in Chelsea at Barnes & Noble at 12:30 signing copies of Brain Droppings.
Yeah.
And it's a great, it really is a great Father's Day gift. I mean, I was back in the office when I opened up a page. George writes, I'm paraphrasing, it's one of the good things about airplane crashes at air shows.
Yeah.
Is they have good video.
A lot of good video. A lot of people bring their video cameras, and you always see it right straight into the ground. From the moment it gets into trouble, they follow it right down. The spiral, the smoke, everything, and then, of course, the big poof on the...
And we quote you constantly every time there is an earthquake or any sort of
And I'm
disaster.
so happy about India and Pakistan.
I knew it.
Yes, the I person, let me tell you, Mr. I person, the I countries are making me happy these days. Indonesia, India, Iraq, Iran, Israel. Listen to this now. First of all, India and Pakistan both have the bomb. There is now a Muslim bomb.
Yeah.
There, of course, has always been a Protestant bomb. That's ours.
Yeah.
The Jews have a bomb. The Muslims have a bomb. The Protestants have a bomb. Next, Greek Orthodox. It's going to be a strange-looking bomb, but they're going to have it.
Like a
The Vatican,
suppository,
the
right?
Vatican wants the test, but there's no room. Very small area there. They don't want, with statuary and everything. And hold on, because I made notes on this coming in. Oh, here. You know what I like about the whole thing, though? See, it's ancient hatreds with modern weapons. This is the thing I need for my own enjoyment, my entertainment. Ancient hatreds, modern weapons. And it's all, and the wonderful thing about India and Pakistan having the bomb is a lot of those people believe in reincarnation. And they figure, what's the risk? And the Muslims believe in martyrdom. So martyrdom and reincarnation and atomic weapons. And who's, when they're down to 3 bean sprouts over there, somebody's going to get angry. It's going to be a lot of fun.
George Carlin here on the Ivan Simone program. Well, I want to ask you about kids shooting kids because...
Oh, yeah, I have something on that.
Oh, no.
Yes. Well, yeah, here's the whole thing. Well, let me ask you, this is just a serious question. They say, well, the children are so sensitized to violence. It's all these TV and the games they play on video games, they're desensitized to violence. But you'll notice the first thing that happens when one of these shootings takes place is the next day the school is overrun with grief counselors, trauma therapists, psychotherapists, psychiatrists to help the children cope. If they're so desensitized to violence, why not just go on with the arithmetic? That's what we did. In high school, if somebody showed up in our class, killed 3 of us, we say we just sit there, 35 classmates, minus 3 equals 32.
George Carlin here on the Ivan Simone program.